Welcome to the Baldwin Kids Podcast, a space dedicated to talking about politics, nerd culture, and mental health. I am the Terpsichorean K.
The fuck is a terpsichorean?
I'll get into that.
I'm the moist Vesta.
Oh, God.
That works.
I mean, I guess one kind of leads into the other. So,
What the fuck does that mean?
okay, so Terpsichorean is an adjective for being of or related to dancing, since Terpsichore was the Greek muse of dance.
Okay.
So you've probably seen me post this on Facebook before where I say, I am Aunt Viv's Terpsichorean fatigue. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Alright.
Okay.
It's been a fun 2 weeks.
Oh, God.
It's been a real
So
fun 2
of course, y'all's government decides to act all the way up, down, turn around, pick a bale of cotton, for the entire 2 weeks leading up until, excuse me, for the entire couple weeks leading up until we get ready to record.
This is an absolute fool. It's been a mess.
It's been an entire mess, and I'm already tired. Like, are y'all tired?
I mean, because I'm exhausted.
Like, can y'all be tired of being ain't shit or nah?
What are we getting into first?
Yeah, let's just dive in.
Alright,
Yeah,
so
we're basically laughing to keep from hollering with rage, just so
Yeah,
you know.
pretty
But I
much.
mean, to be relatively conscious.
Alright, exactly.
All right, so I guess we can get started with a bit of an important correction. So we were saying Monsieur Botham Jean's name wrong on our last episode.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. And as a sidebar, his family is actually currently in the process of suing the city of Dallas.
I know that's right. As they should, because all of that was just absolute tomfoolery, what they had to go through. And now that... is there any news on how that's going, the suit?
Well, I mean, I don't know about the suit. I do know that What's-Her-Nose got fired.
Fired, air quotation marks.
Yeah, no, I mean, like,
Will be in a
she's not being paid or anything, but you and I both know that the way that policing in this country goes is that she's going to end up getting shunted over to some other smaller town police department, probably somewhere that only just recently heard of the internet, and and they're not going to know, or they're going to pretend not to know, which is more likely the case, and she's going to have a job again. But, you know...
I imagine backwoods towns are like purgatories for shitty cops.
Ugh.
So it's just like whenever you're like on a road trip, like going somewhere and you have to pass through the town, it's just going to be like the Twilight Zone.
And people wonder why I keep my license and insurance handy when I'm out in the sticks.
Yeah. Exactly.
I refuse to become a hashtag.
Absolutely.
Alrighty. So, I suppose we can stick to the lighter-hearted stuff first. Then I'm sure I'll drop like a disclaimer or something before we get into the heavier bits.
Yeah.
Alright, so second off now, can we not, again, Ms. Clinton, Mrs. Clinton, whatever you want to call yourself,
Hun, listen.
like, this is not a case of third time's the charm.
We don't need any more memes of your dumbass.
Though the nasty meme from the one debate, like I still have that saved in my phone. You know Janet Jackson's album, except it's got Hillary's face photoshopped in there because 45 was like, or such a nasty woman,
Such a nasty woman.
and we're all just like nasty. You are doing too much right now. Anyway, thank you for the musical interlude.
You're welcome. That song is a bop.
But, I mean, it is.
Anyway, but we don't need... Girl, go home. Go to bed.
Go away.
Stop blow drying your hair before you don't have any left, just like your pruny husband.
You say that like that actually is her hair.
Okay, I don't know what weave site, Hair He Goes, RPG Hair, any of
Stop.
those weave sites. Stop supplying Miss Clinton with that Remy hair she keeps bleaching into non-existence.
Stop.
Okay.
Okay, as a sidebar, can we stop having these decrepit ass politicians?
Just period. Can we get?
Isn't the average age like in the early 60s for the people quote unquote running this country?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like Biden is another person being touted as a Democratic frontrunner for 2020.
Again,
Like,
with you.
can we get somebody new and fresh and young
You
and
go.
preferably a person of color, and
Yeah,
preferably more so a
honestly.
woman?
Yeah, now it's about time. After all this shit, we need a woman in office. So all y'all rapist sympathizers can get real pissy.
Hold on. We don't need a preview. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Let's see. Moving on. So Nike was getting some side-eyed praise from me, and that side-eye was, yep. Go ahead. Don't deafen them, damn. Anyway, so that side-eye was well-deserved because it comes out that Nike had been donating to the very people that Kaepernick was protesting against.
I don't like being played like that. Honestly, because I feel like I was played in that situation. I ain't bought shit from Nike. That distances me from it a little bit, but I still was in full support of Cap and the other folks they used for that.
And I mean, I still will be in support of Cap and company.
And I'm sure I don't even know what Cap feels about that, but I'm mad that Nike just did a 180. You got the support.
I don't feel like it was a 180. I feel like they were doing it all along, and this is some shit that just came out. And ooh, that's a point I probably should have researched a little more.
What?
Whether or not those donations have been an ongoing thing, or if it's something
Oh
new.
yeah, well Nike's been supporting whoever can make them some more money or keep them relevant. But you know who they advertise. You know who they advertise to. We know who's actually buying all this shit. And that's not an accident. And y'all need to stop paying attention. Y'all keep buying the same shoes that come out in different colors with extra straps on them. Talking about the Bread 11s or whatever the fuck your shoes are called.
Oh, girl.
And I don't understand what the whole I never understood what the fascination behind brand name shoes were that cost upwards of. If I'm paying more than like $30 or $40 for some shoes, unless they're like boots or dress shoes or something,
Oh, honey.
I don't spend more than that.
No, well, more specialized shoes are going to cost way hell.
Well, yeah, but
Like hell, a pair of decent Chuck Taylors are going to cost you like 70.
oh yeah, those are Chuck Taylors. Those are actually good shoes. But I don't understand the whole fascinations with Nikes and Jordans. I never did, and I never will.
Same.
So
But still, like I saw it. I didn't see it for Nike at first. I can point out a good advertising campaign when it shows up because it was, and people were mad and they showed how bad they are at boycotting.
right.
But
But here they are, like, hey, just kidding. Keep buying our shit, so we can give it away to the people you don't like and don't like you.
yeah. But anyway, next on our list is the Istapo activity in Wisconsin. I believe it's Madison. I could be wrong. I
Yeah.
took my notes a little funny this time. But long story short, there are businesses and schools in the area that were shutting down temporarily to keep people from getting snatched. And the problem is that these people getting snatched are just people that, were Latin appearing. Irrespective of their citizenship status. They had to prove their citizenship one way or another. And what I need to be completely clear in the fact that this doesn't sound unrealistic.
Nope.
So whether or not it's true, the fact of the matter is that we have reached a point where that's possible, and that's terrifying.
Yeah. And real good book called 1984 that people keep sleeping on.
Oh, honey.
As if that ain't becoming more and more of a reality at this point. But here's my thing. This is like the first big, like, publicized
Istapo.
them stopping or like doing some bullshit.
It wasn't publicized. This is something.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is something.
No, it wasn't. As per
course not.
usual. But it was a lot of people. It was in Wisconsin. There was a bunch of people on Facebook and Twitter and everything talking about that, right? Isn't that where like everybody?
That's where I got it.
Yeah. That's not the first time this has happened. I remember they were doing it when I lived in the Bay Area. They were doing it in San Francisco and Richmond. in the lower parts, of course, where minorities usually are.
Well,
Thanks gentrification.
That's where they want to grab people.
And they would huddle there. There'd be checkpoints and stops, and it happened. There was some in my old hometown that happened every once in a while in the area.
Hence why I called them Istapo.
Like, it doesn't. It's almost the same. No, it's almost exactly the same as the bait trucks in the South Side Strip.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Y'all are literally sitting here waiting for someone to do something wrong, quote unquote, provoking them, and then being like, "Well, they were bad all along, so we're just."
Instead of
bringing the inevitable,
instead of putting your efforts towards
right.
Actually catching people instead of setting people up. But I digress. We should.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on to the child. Okay.
Here's what the real tea.
Yeah. So, just to preface this, the next section is going to be talking about Bill Cosby and Kavanaugh and such. So, if you don't necessarily have the energy, if you've been kind of overloaded with stuff like this, please, skip ahead. We should be leaving a, excuse me, we'll have a timestamp in the show notes.
Mm-hmm. So that'll be in the video too on YouTube and the show notes on SoundCloud.
Yeah, just so that way you can skip to less traumatic things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just take care of yourself first. I'd rather have my listeners make it to the next episode and skip part of one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so short version. Fuck Kavanaugh. Fuck Kavanaugh.
Yeah, just...
And again, I'm cracking jokes to, avoid being wide-eyed with rage.
Yeah, why are you guys so surprised and defensive? Again, there are so many things that point to this man doing what he did and now being upset because it's caught up with him again. But you guys will steady defend him.
But he claims he's innocent.
Oh, he's so innocent.
So we hear this all the time. If you're innocent and you've got nothing to hide, you should just let the process happen. Then why the hell?
But why are you so mad about why are you guys defending him for being mad about the process happening?
Yeah, or people wanting an FBI investigation. Okay, hang on. Quick backstory. Because I'm sure at some point or another we are going to be having some, non-American listeners.
At some point.
So, long story short, Brett Kavanaugh I believe he's a judge. I forget where from. But he is a judge that has been appointed by 45 as the person to fill the vacant Supreme Court seat.
Yeah.
Basically, he's going to be one of the people that's in charge of making huge countrywide changing judiciary decisions,
which I don't really trust because
the man
he was in charge of he was supported by Bush and was involved with a lot of his shit.
He was supported, bitch. He is still supported by Bush. Bush is calling people and being like, "Y'all make sure you vote for him."
Oh, you know what? Yeah.
Calling them between lines of coke. I see you, George W. Anyway. Yeah, between doing his lines of coke, calling senators and being like, hey, make sure you vote for Kavanaugh.
What? Make sure you vote for Kavanaugh.
Jesus Christ. So, my ears are mad at you right now. I'm sure a couple hundred people are mad at you right now.
Let's continue, shall we?
My God. Anyway.
So,
okay, a lot of the things I'm seeing is what he did, blah de blah, shouldn't ruin him, or I thought all boys
y'all
did
love that. Y'all love to use that.
Something Brock Turner.
Y'all really love to let's not have it ruin him, or boys will be.
That boys will be boy shit needed to die, still needs to die, because boys will be held accountable for their actions is the much better version. Because whether or not boys are more rambunctious than girls, we're not even going to get into gender theory and such because I'm already tired.
Yeah, bullshit.
But
Go on.
irrespective of what boys typically do, they still need to be held accountable for their actions in the same way that a lot of women are held accountable for something that, wasn't necessarily under their control too.
Right.
But, double standard,
Oh,
patriarchy.
but the boys, but the careers, but the
But what about the person who got destroyed by that boy's
Right.
behavior?
Exactly.
What about their psyche? What about their future? Is this boy's career going to be paying for all of their therapy and stuff that the person needs to move ahead with their life? Is this boy's career going to pay for this person's funeral expenses because they killed themselves over the trauma, which is not an uncommon occurrence, but
I've had some people in the workplace, unfortunately, talk about how it's not right that they're judging Kavanaugh for something he said. This is going off of like the yearbook thing, or when he was like 17 or whatever. Oh, they shouldn't be judging him for something he did when he was 17. Why would you want someone judging you for things you did at 17? I'm like, no, but here's the thing.
I
I'm
was
not
a
up
piece
for.
of shit.
I was not even that. I'm not up for a seat of the Supreme Court. That's the thing. So I wouldn't be judged that screwed. And when you were up for something that important, hell yeah, you're going to be judged from the head down.
From the cradle to now.
Yeah. So that's inevitable. Yeah, he's going to... Almost every fucking politician that gets some sort of media attention is scrutinized from birth to present time.
Oh, you want to? Speaking of which, all this. Oh, he did that blah 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 years ago. So you're saying he did it? Yeah, but he did it forever and a half ago. But you're saying he did
it though.
Yeah, but he did it. But there's no but. Did he or did he not? Yeah, but it. No,
that's all we need to know.
Exactly, and that's the problem.
Yeah, y'all are so quick to defend somebody.
Oh no, that's not even the point I was going towards.
Go ahead.
No, the point I was going towards was all these allegations coming forward now, and it's a problem. What about all the allegations from the Catholic Church that are all of a sudden need to be punished now? Oh.
Oh, how about that?
Oh. So yeah, and his behavior. I skimmed the majority of that video. His behavior. Oh, please do. Let me sit back. Let me sit back and take a drink.
I'm so mad at you people. I had somebody to go on my Facebook page. I share shit all the time. That's why a lot of people don't like being my Facebook friend. I share shit left and right. One thing I shared was something we talked about before, very briefly. Boys and men deserve to express their emotions, not have to bottle them up, yada, yada, yada. All that good shit that needs to be, actively
accepted.
Actively accepted. And, I was sharing this meme of Kavanaugh looking like a fucking angry Frankenstein baby in the middle of court, bawling his eyes out. Someone I know immediately came at me and was like, well, you just posted something that said men can cry and show emotion. Why are you making fun of him for doing it? I'm like, oh, no. I'm not making fun of him for showing emotion. He has every right to bawl his eyes out in the courtroom. That's not the issue. The circumstances that lead up to it, that's the issue. He's on trial for sexual assault while he's trying to be...
Sort of, kind of, but carry on.
Or whatever the fuck. I don't care. At me with details because I don't give two fucks. But the real thing I want to go off is his emotions, and he can sit there and cry and be angry, and that's okay because that just means he's really passionate. And that must mean that what he's saying is right. Ooh, but when Serena got mad. But when Serena got mad.
Tell him.
When Serena got mad, oh wow, she was real unprofessional. Let's draw a racist-ass minstrel comic of her looking like an ape throwing a tantrum, even though what she was mad about was right. So the white men with no balls and red faces can get real pissed. But the black women can't. We can't be mad. We got to be humble. But y'all can go off y'all can go off in court over some shit that you did wrong. Y'all can go off on retail workers for not bending to your every whim, for not giving you something that you don't deserve. When are we going to address that double standard, huh? Like,
Oh, I wonder.
man, I'm done.
But yeah, he needs to, like, whether or not he gets jail time. I mean, he's a powerful white man, so I doubt that he'll see the inside of a jail anyway.
Please.
But he needs not be on the Supreme Court. End of story.
Yep.
Especially when he's behaving like that after being questioned for like half an hour, whereas another former Secretary of State was questioned for a smooth 11 hours and just looked like she just wanted to go take a bath later.
Yeah.
But you know, men need to continue to rule the world. Otherwise, women are going to start taking over, according to Steve Bannon. Oh, segue.
Oh, so you're mad? So you're mad that women are going to treat you the same way you treat women?
Oh. And it's like 10,000 years of civilization is going to be undone. Oh, girl.
First of all, that's how I know you didn't read no history and no books.
He's a white supremacist. Of course not, because actually reading history would destroy the majority of his beliefs and probably clear his skin up.
There's no left. So I was going to start sipping. I tried to call my screwdriver. Sorry, y'all. But yeah. 10,000 years of civilization have been dominated by men?
Yeah.
Question mark?
And look at what we've got.
Question mark. Are you sure about that? Are you positive? Like, yeah, okay, there we can. Let me bring this black ass phrase that every mom and auntie likes to share. Behind every king is a great queen, or behind every man is a better woman, something like that.
Something like that.
But men. Oh, okay, sure, whatever. I cite.
Oh, here we go. I found the exact quote. The anti-patriarchy movement is going to undo 10,000 years of recorded history. You watch. The time has come. Women are going to take charge of society, and they couldn't juxtapose a better villain than Trump. He is the patriarch. I mean, you're spitting facts, sis.
Yeah.
Undo 10,000 years? I don't think women are. I don't think there are secret fallopian time machines to undo history, girl.
Yeah. Listen, like, I don't understand what you're trying to bring up with that. You're just mad because you can't tell women what to do anymore. Or it's coming to the point where you can't tell women what to do anymore. You can't shut them up because they refuse to be shut up and they refuse to be silenced about anything. That's what your old ass is worried about.
Yeah, but I mean, he can talk to me once he finally gets a acid peel.
Yeah.
And some Neutrogena.
Yeah.
And maybe stop looking like he's in his 80s when he's like 50-something, I think. But I mean, hate and not minding your own business usually makes you age faster. I mean, can we talk about like Steve Carell, for example, who is aging amazingly?
Yeah.
He's minding his own business. Or like Paul Rudd, who is minding his own business and looks the same as he did in the 90s.
Yeah.
But, we're not here to talk about, Hollywood celebrities. We're talking about those overpaid, overstuffed, old-ass septuagenarian pseudo-celebrities in the ruling class.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. What else have we got? You know what? The only thing left that we have to talk about is Mr. Puddin' Pop himself.
He did it. He's gonna go to jail.
Is in jail.
Is in jail, sorry. And he deserved the stale hot dog bun and knocked him down the stairs. The end.
Yeah. Like, the only shred of decency I'd want to give him is some kind of, hear me out, he's ancient.
Yeah.
Like, somebody to help him up and downstairs at the very least.
But here's my thing. I don't think anybody of old age gets that. And I would have to look and see. I don't think they give a fuck how old you are in prison.
Yeah, well, still.
A lot of people are just giving him sympathy just because
He was Heathcliff Huxtable. Here's the thing. Heathcliff Huxtable is a character.
Yeah.
You want more of him? Go get your Cosby Show.
Yeah,
DVD
go watch
and
the Cosby
Blu-ray,
Show.
because those two are not the same people. Heathcliff Huxtable did not put Quaaludes in people's drinks to sleep with them. William motherfucking Cosby was the one who did it, and even admitted to doing it. But y'all are so like, but that's my hero, free my nigga Cosby.
How about we free some actual black
How about we free?
like heroes that actually do something for a community.
How about we? And there's a lot of like, you just want to see a black man torn down. No,
No.
I want to see men and women, and none of the above, be held accountable for the things that they've done. It's the misconception that gets passed along all the time. No, I don't want people of color or what's the word? Subordinate classes was the phrase I heard in my another class. Anyway, I don't want subordinate classes to be immune to the law, immune to consequences, immune to this, that, and the third.
They need
no,
to be held accountable, but they also don't need to be over targeted.
exactly. I want it to be equal for all parties involved.
Exactly.
And therein lies the rub. I don't want to see black people get away with crimes left and right.
No.
I don't want to see white people get away with crimes left and right. I want fair prosecution and consequences for those actions.
Which we don't have, and that's
the
what we're
problem.
arguing about. Yeah,
And
it was kind of upsetting to see Bill Cosby go through all this
see,
to an extent.
I never grew up with a whole bunch of Bill Cosby fandom, so I'm just
I'm gonna
okay.
be 100 about me watching the Cosby Show. I literally only watched it for his wife and their gorgeous ass on-screen daughter. Those are the only two people I watched. Oh no, and then Malcolm Jamal Warner. Those are the only three people I watched the Cosby Show for, because his wife, her name is escaping me. She's a queen. Oh no. I don't remember her name. Claire Huxtable. Claire Huxtable is the name. I only watched it for Claire, Lisa Bonet, Denise, and Malcolm Jamal Warner, who's I don't remember his character's name. I actually met him. Sidebar. When I was younger, because that acting school was a part of a couple different people. But
yeah,
that's all I watched it for. So that was just a quick little,
yeah. Anyway, I believe that's all we have to say. Kavanaugh needs to go, away. Bill Cosby is in jail and away, and that's awesome. Steve Bannon needs to go get some microdermabrasion done and then stay gone away.
Yep.
And men are trash generally.
Yes.
So on that note, we will leave you with some musical stylings of who is it? This one?
It's Mr. Fahrenheit again.
Oh.
My baby daddy, my sugar baby.
Oh Jesus. On that note, we will leave you with some musical stylings and be back in a bit.
Bye.
Those musical stylings. I know I got a little preview of it, so I already know I'm gonna like it. Alrighty, so we're moving on to our next segment, which is our mental health segment, and as always, we are just two buffoons with a couple of mics, some recording equipment, and an extra Sunday here and there.
So take everything we say with a salt mine.
Oh, with a salt mine now. It's not just a warehouse.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna run out of things to say are made of salt.
Want to bet?
I mean, we could bring up Lot's wife, but
So anyway.
Okay. So this week we're actually secondary disclaimer again. This segment is going to be talking a bit about depression. So if that's going to mess with you, again, we're going to be putting timestamps in the show notes. So feel free to skip to the next section if you don't feel like you have the spoons or the spell slots to be an audience to this.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Where do we even start with this?
where do we even start? Oh, I've got a not on the floor. J-Lo featuring Pitbull.
Who?
Don't do this.
That one Pitbull song he half-ass produces
Oh,
with
okay.
everything else. But go on. What are we starting with?
So this week, well, this show, I guess, we're going to be talking more about depression. And one of the biggest reasons I bring this up is that, contrary to what certain black parents believe, it is not just a white people thing.
Yeah, I think we've said this before.
We've said that before, but the point needs to be reiterated a dozen times
Yeah.
until that ceases to be, a harmful meme, if you will.
I don't understand, and I don't think I ever truly will, why it's such like a frowned upon phrase or idea that you can't, if you have mental illness, they immediately associate with like being a psychopath or something, like just in the entire wrong direction.
Like,
of what
girl, my
that actually
serotonin is low.
means.
That's it.
Right. It's not something we can control, and it's not something like I've had multiple different elders of my family to say to me that, like, oh, well, when you're depressed, just do stuff you like. It's all stuff that a lot of the listeners have probably heard before. Oh, just do stuff you like. Well, then just think about all the stuff you have.
Just change the way you think.
All that does is make you feel worse, because now on top of you feeling what you feel, and however way your depression manifests itself, you feel like you're not justified in feeling the way you feel because of how your depression manifests itself. And it just
becomes
makes
a
you
cycle.
more angry and more confused.
And it becomes a cycle.
Which is why a lot of people don't even seek the help, because then they don't value.
No, Garrett, go on.
A lot of people don't seek the help because, well, first they can't, thanks healthcare, but
That was the point I was going to make. But go
yeah,
on.
thanks healthcare for that, and it's an arm and a leg to even like see a psychiatrist. But you get looked down on, and you have you don't find support from your own family sometimes to even look for that.
Yeah, I've been told multiple times that my depression is just a state of mind. It's just a way I'm thinking. If I stop listening to that old depressing ass white music,
It's always a white thing.
which it's not. It really isn't. You can try to stuff your ears so far down that you rupture your damn eardrums and la 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 till the cows
They're
come
just
home.
the only ones that actually talk about it. No shade, all shade.
And the issue is that mentality is what's going to cause people to keep things from their parents. I don't like.
Yeah. And then parents wonder why in like 4 or 5 years they don't even know their kids anymore. I'm like, well, you distance them so much during during a key part of their life. It may not feel as important to you, but it damn sure is important to them.
Exactly.
Like a couple years will make someone's entire life relationship with you.
Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing somebody for a while now, and they're very close to their family. They talk openly with their family. They're let's put it this way: we ate pizza and watched Coco, which they were a mess at the end of the movie because it's so family centric, family oriented, and wholesome like that.
A mood, yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like, oh, that's sad. That's it. Because I'm not super close with mine because I keep getting pushed away, partly because of being openly queer, which I've been asked multiple times now. Have you just tried being straight? No, I. It's not like I'm A, already depressed as hell, and B.
Have you tried dick? It's just I have tired that response from like my middle school and high school years. Go on.
But the answer to that question is yes. That's what I tried at first. And the thing is,
'cause that's all y'all fucking preach about, and that's all y'all enforce at every family function with a million relatives, including you.
You found a girlfriend yet?
Bitch, no.
No, did you
Or
find your
turn
hairline?
into,
Did you,
yeah,
wait, wait,
his-
wait, wait. Did you find your hairline yet? Did you find your husband yet? Oh, then stay out of my
Did you
business.
find your repossessed car yet?
Oof. Don't get me started on clapbacks. Because
I was gonna say when it gets real dark, I don't want to bring that up. It's a little too dark. But
it's
when I don't know, I can kind of relate to that. I sort of did my own thing when I was a kid. Anyway, there was a lot. I was left to my own devices to an extent. So I knew I was fucking like I didn't even know I was gay. No, yes I did. I just didn't. I just didn't second guess it. Mainly because it's just like I don't know what it was or what part of my life really just let me accept that as okay, yeah, I'm this, but that doesn't really mean anything. I would tell other people otherwise, especially if they're my family. I would just be like, not really into anybody right now, which would be the truth to an extent. But a lot of people are like a lot of relatives I know, a lot of people of color that I'm friends with, they were held to this have to be straight mentality, and that can it could go one of two ways. They either fight their way out of it, or you get
ostracized.
you get the doc that too, or you get the mask for mask closet cases. No shade.
But we're getting sidetracked a little, I think.
Yeah, we are. But
Yeah, like the main thing is the whole idea of rejecting mental health as a whole, but especially depression, as we see it, and as being black. We're not even going to bring the queer thing into play as much as we can. But let's see. What are the class responses? What do you got to be depressed about?
what do you have to be depressed about is my number one. That's all the way up there. Then they take that as you not. Then they just assume you don't appreciate anything when you say you're depressed.
Or
That's a real quick one.
you need to go take that to the church. You need to go pray about it.
See, that I never had, thankfully, because I feel like had I been closer to my paternal side of my family, I would have gotten that a lot. But my maternal side isn't like mad religious, thankfully.
Yeah, that makes one of us.
Like
In the church every Sunday, every Wednesday, planning potlucks and cruises and blah blah blah.
Jesus.
Exactly.
I literally took church as nap time when we used to go.
I figured out how to take a nap sitting down.
I did too.
I would just balance my head, or like lean forward, have my hands on the sides of my head with my ears in between my index and middle fingers. So it prop my head up, and I would be eyes shut but look like I was just facing forward.
The things you do in those situations do it now.
But yeah, let's see, take to the church. What have you got to be depressed about? That's the white
Just
people
think
shit.
about all the things you do have, which stems from the what do you have to be depressed about.
Yeah, or the that's some more white people shit. If you don't get out of
white
that,
people shit.
No, it's
Everybody's shit.
and sometimes it's temporary based on an event or something.
Right.
Sometimes it's more permanent because it's a literal chemical imbalance in your brain,
That you
and
can't
chemical
help.
imbalances don't give a damn whether or not you get sunburn or not.
Right. Exactly. I'll bring her into this. I'm not going to mention her name. I'm sure she would mind me telling this story because it's not an uncommon one. She lived in a house where it was a very similar situation. She's a woman of color. Her mother was not. And it was very... she was very obviously depressed, this friend of mine. And it was something that she was aware of but didn't have anything to do with. She couldn't do anything about it, I mean to say. And her mother would berate her daily about it, as if, why are you not happy? Why are you so this? Why are you so that? And this friend was outright like, I'm pretty sure I'm depressed. There's something wrong. And mother pulled every excuse out in the book. I'm surprised a white woman pulled these excuses out. But pulled every excuse that we just listed and more out of the book. So then said friend went to the doctor who confirmed it. And then her mother cared. Why does it take someone else to tell you, yeah, your child is right, or yeah, there's something wrong with your child for you to all of a sudden care? Why can't you just listen to your kid when they always say, hey, I don't think something's completely right? Why can't you listen to them the first time and actually believe them?
Because here's the thing, you literally have nothing to lose in that capacity, girl. Because, like, so you don't think your child is depressed, your child think that they are depressed. You know what happens if you go to the doctor? You're out of a couple bucks, but you find out one way or another by somebody who has way more schooling than your dumbass does.
Right. It ain't just, it'll pass. Well, it's not always it'll pass.
I was going to say, sometimes it does pass. You know, for some people, it like a relative that they were really close to died, and they are sad for a while.
This shit is permanent, and I don't think people understand the permanence of depression.
Yeah, like I've been some brand of depressed, like not diagnosed until recently, but been some brand of depressed since fifth grade, fifth grade.
Yeah, all right, it's about the same. About middle school for me, middle school for me.
And it's a white people thing. No, honey,
it's not.
No. That is a tenth of me, and that's not counting in this case. It is part of me, and something that I've learned to live with. Something that I've had to like figure out how to fend for myself on because I had no support.
Yeah, and you gotta function still. And you think about the people that, medications and things or therapy can help. And those people still have to deal with it on a daily basis, but that stuff helps them. Then there's the people who can't and still have to find ways to get out and survive while fending off this demon in the back of their head that plagues them for no reason every day. And people don't understand that that's an issue, especially people in the black community, which is why we have so many fucked up mindsets about ourselves and the way we live, not from other people, but within our own community.
Well, I have heard that the mentality is a pretty big minority thing in general.
Yeah,
either minority or lower financial class.
I was just speaking on what I was.
No, I know, and that doesn't discount your point.
But yeah, it's not just a black thing, but since we're kind of black here, that's what we're speaking on.
Yeah,
but it's a vastly misunderstood issue that really needs to be addressed and taken care of in better generations.
I don't think it's necessarily misunderstood, as so much so as that it's just swept under the rug and ignored.
That too, amongst other things. Callbacks to past episodes. Not going to go into detail, but.
So, do we want to kind of talk about what each of our depression looks like? At least for a minute or two before moving on?
That would be more your thing. I don't know what mine looks like, honestly.
So you'll probably go off my example? Okay. I guess the biggest thing in mine is that I go radio silent. And it's never anything against anyone who's trying to talk to me. It's that a lot of the times when mine gets bad, I barely have enough energy to drag myself throughout the day, throughout my day-to-day activities like work and school and such. But unless it's like a huge emergency, I'm not gonna have the spoons. I'm not gonna have the spell slots. I am on a strictly cantrip and first level spell basis.
Yeah.
Like I said, I saw that description instead of the spoons, and my God, it makes so much sense because certain things are the equivalent of cantrips, which are, spells that you can cast whenever. Yeah. You never run out of them.
I feel like in that case, I am the extreme opposite, and you know this firsthand. When I'm like going through some shit, I literally try and talk to any and everybody excessively. I don't know. I feel like that just stems from a lot of. As a kid, I was really to myself. I had my sister and my parents when they were home, and that was about it. And I didn't have friends until high school. And even then, most of them are gone anyway. That's just how high school goes. But I feel like I've had enough of being by myself. I don't know the way my brain thinks, especially when I'm going through something really hardcore. I need to like
When
talk
you're
to
going
somebody
through
excessively. I used to be like, please, just like give me something to think about aside from this. And you've seen this before.
Yeah, and that's also part of why I advocate for therapy so hard.
Yeah,
because it helps a lot.
Yeah, it
Now,
does.
it named my depressive demon. Actually diagnosed with a condition called dysthymia, aka, or I like to call it depression light,
yeah.
TM,
LLC.
where I'm not at the level of like in bed for days at a time, not eating, not showering, not talking to people,
Yeah,
but like I force myself to do the absolute bare minimum, and that doesn't make me stronger or weaker than anybody. Different depression affects different people different ways,
yeah,
and we all fight our battles as we can.
right.
But a lot of my, forcing myself through things is pretty much me dissociating and just getting it over with. And one of the things that I'm very glad that my job is pretty autopilot friendly,
Yeah.
which is part of why I can listen to podcasts and stuff while I work, because
Hey.
and that's part of why we got on SoundCloud.
Hey. I've actually done that before. I feel like such a narcissist, but when I recently went on a trip to Portland, Oregon. Love it there. I'm tempted to move if it isn't on track to become California light. But I listened to like the first 2 episodes of the podcast on the plane, and it was literally like super therapeutic.
Really?
Like, wow, wait, we're landing? Listening to
you. Man, all I need, just give me some music and I will be asleep in 3, 2. Well, no. Once we get up to cruising altitude, because my ears are pop, lock, and dropping the whole way up.
Think about what you just said. Pop, locking, and then dropping on the way up. That is such a... Anyway. Yeah, the podcast helped the plane trip go by faster. But, anyway. Like, I have a hard time dissociating. That's something I can't do, and I'm envious that you can do very easily. I know a lot of people who can. I'm so emotionally invested into way too much. Anybody who knows me personally knows if I get into shit, I'm into shit. Like when I first, for a quick example, when I used to watch Gem and the Holograms as a kid, real briefly. When that shit came back up again in my life, it was literally Gem and the Holograms, nothing, for about a month and a half. And everybody who knew me knew this. They were like, Vesta, can you like get into something else now? And I'm like, no. But I lost my train of thought. But yeah, it's hard for me to dissociate from. I'm jealous that you can do that, honestly.
Yeah, well, it comes and goes. I believe that might be about it.
Yep. Real quick, anybody who wants to send stories, anything you want to talk about mental health wise or anything, email us
at askthebkcast@gmail.com.
and we will go. If we get enough, we'll spend an episode where we read them off. If you want to make it real fun, I like to do this. Send us a nickname you want us to call you. I like doing that. It makes me feel like a 80s newspaper advice columnist, which was a dream job for me as a kid. But
why am I not even remotely surprised? But yeah, that email address again is askthebkcast@gmail.com.
yeah, send us your stuff, mans and womans.
And none of the above.
And none of the above-ians. All right, so we're doing musical break again this time?
Yes, we are, and I believe that our musical break is actually going to be partially related to our next topic.
Yeah, y'all all know what we're talking about. If you're fans, we'll see you in a minute.
All right, toodles.
There you are. Hello, Starlight. You certainly gave everyone a scare. They're all just thrilled to see you safe and sound.
And welcome back, guys, gals, and non-binary pals.
It's time for the part I can't wait for.
The nerdy section. Because
As with the song you just heard, you know exactly what we're talking about.
Steven Universe.
Steven motherfucking Universe. If y'all want to hate on one of the greatest kid shows to come out in the past few years, leave and come back next episode.
Yeah, because there's going to be some standing for that. So Vesta here actually got me introduced to the show.
Yep.
First season was a little hard to get through.
Yeah. Honestly, it's because I still say it's because Rebecca and the Crooniverse were still under Cartoon Network's leash.
Rebecca
point.
and the Crooniverse.
Yeah, that's what they're called. Her team's called the Crooniverse. That's what their Tumblr is too.
I don't know whether to be impressed or upset.
Impressed, of course. It's Rebecca Sugar.
Porque no los dos. Anyway.
But he is done with season 4.
Yeah, I just finished season 4.
We're starting 5 today.
Oh boy. And then I'll be like pretty much caught up.
Yeah.
So I have questions.
We're not spoiling anything. I know everything that happens. Some of y'all probably know everything that happens. No spoilers.
Well,
there will be spoilers up to season 4. There we go. Anybody who is
spoilers
watching.
up to season 4 because I'm going to be talking about it some.
Yes.
So be thou warned. Man, this episode has had a lot of like.
Hey yo! Warning! Warning! I need the fucking Mega Man X warning sound.
Warning.
Before you fight a boss. Yeah.
Yeah, but again, this is another warning. Spoilers ahead, kind of thing. All right, so season 1 was kind of hard to watch. It was a lot of it was just strange. Like, it wasn't bad, it was strange. And then they started dropping little nuggets of, oh wait, the show might be a little deep.
Oh. Yeah. I forget what episode it was for season 1 because I haven't seen
Frybo.
Oh yeah. So see, there's some scary shit. Cat fingers, Frybo. All those episodes are just like, oh no.
Well, that and like the little hint at how adulthood shouldn't be just working until you die.
Yeah, that real quick second, and you're like, oh.
That little sidebar of, oh, this show's going to get deep.
And I warned, I was sitting there and we were watching it together. I'm like, trust me, it just gets better from here.
And by better, Vesta means I got sucked in. So Steven's going along, learning how his powers work and learning that he has progressively more and more. Some of them are strange, like the healing saliva.
Yes, and more about his mother, who is Rose Quartz.
Who I am still mad that I didn't notice the first time I heard her speak.
Yeah, Kate was late. Kate was late.
Yeah, I know, I was late.
Anybody
and what?
who knew.
Rose Quartz was Meg from Hercules.
Yeah, Meg from Hercules, the original Broadway Belle from Beauty and the Beast.
Susan Egan, I think is her name.
Susan Egan.
Yeah, Susan Egan voices Rose Quartz, and I didn't realize it, and I forget what she said, but she said something.
And you turned, you were like, she sounds like Susan Egan. I'm like, that is Susan Egan. You're just like, what?
What? So I'm already fanning because one of my favorite Disney princesses is voicing Rose Quartz. Really unofficial Disney princess, fight me.
She don't really count as a Disney.
Okay, so she's not a princess. She is
that bitch. Disney's that bitch.
Yes,
number 1. But
who had the sassy gay friend in the form of Hades.
Yeah.
But she voices Rose Quartz, and I was giddy about it. There's also Nicki Minaj makes an appearance on there, which I mean, Nicholas has her own problems.
And no shade, but it's the reason why she ain't been back yet.
You didn't have to do that.
I'm just being real.
But yeah, in the show, there's a concept called fusion, where 2 gems become 1. And at one point, Garnet, who is basically the cartoon version of Amara La Negra, fight me. It's accurate. Look up one, then look up the other. Fuses with Amethyst, who is short and purple and fun, and they turn into Sigalite, who is voiced by none other than one Nicholas Minaj.
Nika Minaj.
Anika Maraj. M-A-R-A-J.
Minky Minaj.
Stop.
But
And
Yeah.
it's rather fitting that Sugarlight is kind of an unstable fusion.
Out of fucking control. I love that episode.
Because that ends up being like some future shade.
Mm-hmm.
Because then we get Nikki going on about. He was like,
You think every time I was walking around with a nice shiny fucking dress on and fucking crown on her head when she was taking slaves?
you're gonna break your damn mic. How many times have you listened to that damn clip?
That was gonna be my ringtone to wake me up in the morning from work at one point.
No.
But that genuinely would have scared the shit out of me. I'm sweating so hard right now. But yeah, Sugar Lights. Who's your favorite fusion?
Ooh.
I have mine.
Smoky Quartz.
Oh, you got yeah. Smoky Quartz is cool.
Smoky Quartz and then Sardonyx are my two favorites.
Oh, speaking of which, I was gonna bring that up because they even mentioned it in the show. They shaded her, Nicki Minaj, when they played the clips. And they're like, "Do we still have to pay her for that?" Okay, I think we still have to pay her for that.
Oh, that was definite shade.
This shit, I was like, got him. But mine is definitely Rainbow Quartz.
Because, but she hasn't really done anything since, you know.
Bitch, listen, she is based off a character from Gem and the Holograms.
Oh, well, that's why.
Named
Never mind.
Dance. Like, I'll pull up a picture later. Don't let me forget. I'll show you Dance and I'll show you Rainbow Quartz. There's definite Gem and the Holograms vibes going on with her. But Rainbow Quartz is my favorite. Also, Garnet.
Yeah, because Garnet, spoilers, obviously. Garnet is actually a fusion between a Sapphire and a Ruby.
Yeah.
As a perma-fusion because they are
In
deep,
love.
deep in love.
Which
And it's
is-
absolutely precious because at one point during the show, they unfuse for a game of baseball. And they're being so damn cute together, and I can't stand
it's
it.
me. Like, that is, if I was ever, like, forced, that's why I could never work with someone I was, like, in a relationship with or married to or whatever. I could never do it.
You can never take it
because
seriously.
I would just be like, hello, sir. I've seen you before. I didn't know you worked here. I would do the same
You are doing so much
I
right
would do
now.
the same thing.
Let's see, what else? Favorite song from the show. Up to season 4. Mine has to be Stronger Than You.
That was my favorite at one point.
Sidebar, Garnet is voiced by the incomparable Estelle.
Another bad bitch.
Another black queen.
Just, oof, Lord. Steals every scene as Garnet. in
yeah,
every
and,
scene.
and that subtle reference to her while they're on like they're having like a party on the beach, and Garnet and Steve's dad Greg are going through a box of records, and they end up pulling one out.
They pull out Shine by Estelle. And
Except
I really liked
it's
that.
tweaked slightly, so it's not actually.
No, it is. It says Shine, and it has. It is.
It's like Garcelle or something. Don't make me look it up while we're recording.
No, because Estelle was probably like, yeah, tight. Go ahead.
It's a reference. It's not an
Really?
actual thing. I will show you after we finish recording.
Okay. 'Cause I thought it was just outright-
because I know for a fact I messaged you with my classic "y'all ain't slick" comment.
There's a lot of cool references in Steven Universe. There's Kanye West is in there. Sailor Moon, the GameCube, Super Nintendo. Sailor Moon is
the
in
N64.
there. Yeah, N64. Sorry.
No, the GameCube and the N64.
Oh yeah,
make
yeah.
appearances.
GameCube and N64. Rebecca's put herself in there. Ian, her gorgeous man, Ian James Cordy, is in there once or twice. He voices a couple of like side characters.
Sinbad was actually in there for the first season.
Yeah,
He voices Mr. Smiley. Sinbad, who looks disturbingly like my father.
yeah. Like Sinbad's there. There's a lot of notable actors and actresses. in the
Yellow
show.
Diamond, my bitch, voiced
So-
by none other than the incomparable Patti LuPone. And I know I use that adjective twice now. I am fresh out of fucks to give.
So how would you feel about Donald Trump? I hope he doesn't attend, actually. And why is that? Because I hate the motherfucker. How is that? when I saw that clip of her,
your entire
I was
scalp.
like, you know what?
Your entire scalp just apparated out of
She
existence.
is the baddest bitch on Broadway right now, and forever will be for me. Is one of my favorite Broadway actresses.
Yeah.
And then there's that other one that was going around Tumblr, and why haven't we done anything about it? When they like took the clip of her ranting about Donald Trump and put it over Yellow Diamond.
Oh my god! Because it's perfect.
It
because
fits so well.
Because Yellow Diamond takes as little shit as possible.
Oh, she sure don't. She goes like, "I'm sorry. What did I ask you? No. Just
Did
bye."
how dare you contact me with such frivolities?
Honestly, she was my favorite line when she was just like, she gave the shady side eye. She does it numerous times in that episode when she first shows up. But Paradise like, I wouldn't have wasted your time with the report. You already have. That's one of my favorite lines from Yellow. I did this thing with a lot of my friends who follow the show. I was just like asking them real deep questions, or because I obviously questions they could trust the answer with to me, and I would just give them diamonds based off of that. And so I gave Kay yellow, and I gave myself blue.
Because I'm that bitch.
Yeah, you. Yeah. Yeah, your personalities match. Meanwhile, I'm blue because I will literally cry about everything. I'll still snap sometimes and just get real pissed at you.
But you're the softer one of the two.
Some of y'all know what I'm talking about.
You're the softer one of the two. But I will cut somebody.
I'm just like,
yeah, and meanwhile, I will, you cut somebody with words.
Right.
And turn on my heel and go about my day like nothing happened.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But the show, honestly, I am loving the fact that it is the inverse of what we see so often with a lot of kid shows, where there's just a whole gaggle of guys and then one girl.
Yeah, now it's just a whole gaggle of girls.
Like there's 5 male-identified people that are regulars in the show. 6. Steven, Lars,
Greg,
the delivery guy. Or I can't. The mailman whose name I can't. Jamie. Thank
you and Steven Universe.
Stop! I am not that dramatic. Mayor Dewey.
I don't know why he's lying, but okay.
Okay, so there's more than 5.
Yeah, there's Onion, all the Fribos. There's a lot, but it's fairly equal given the amount of gems and then like
all the gems are female aligned.
Yeah, that's one thing I really liked about the show. Rebecca brought it up at a recent convention. I appreciate the fact that they show so many different genders and gender expressions,
body types,
because
we've got
different sexualities.
We've got Jasper being butch as hell, which before I got into the show I thought Jasper was just a guy with long hair. Turns out that no, Jasper is a gem and Jasper is a she. We've got tiny little Peridot, Wispy, Lapis. Don't do this,
but Dorito.
You leave Peridot alone, you clod.
You clod. But I brought that up because... Well, go ahead.
No, just thinking about... And what do you know about the Earth? Apparently a lot more than you clod.
Bitch, who the fuck you think you
Yellow was shook.
It's a video. I actually made that. I don't think I told you that.
You made that? So
yeah.
So clearly that needs to go after the end of the credits.
I will.
Specifically on the YouTube one, put that at the end of the credits.
I'll put this clip at the end. There's 3 Steven Universe meme videos I made. I'll probably only upload 2. One is with Garnet. Remind me to show you that because it's got a Filthy Estelle song involved. Oh. So. But what I was going on with that was Rebecca is like, we all come out, she identifies as non-binary, but she made that show because she doesn't want that to be a focus, especially with her. And the show is one place where she expresses that. Oh, you're a guy? Okay, cool. Oh, they call Steven he and she sometimes, and okay, you know what I mean? It's not like a focus on gender. Or if there is a lack thereof, it's not a focus. It's not that big. It just is.
Yeah, because whenever Steven fuses with Connie and turns into Stevani is a resolute they/them user.
Yeah,
and it's never made into a big deal.
No one makes it.
Same thing with Smokey.
Stevani gets everyone's attention, and that's just how it is. When that was what one of my favorite scenes, I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna love this show even more, was when Stevani walked into the donut shop Steven frequents all the time. And both Sadie, the female worker, and Lars, the male worker, are just like head over heels for Stevani.
Both were just shook.
Absolutely shook. And like Sadie was all blushing and coy, and Lars was just like, huh, okay. It's just like, and there was no big deal about it.
Yeah, but there's also like racial representation as well.
Yes, that's another real good
Connie is at least half Indian.
She's Indian. Both her parents are Indian.
Oh.
Yeah. Her mother and father are Indian.
Yeah, it's just that her dad
Her dad rarely ever shows up.
Yeah,
It's
but her
usually the
dad
mom.
took her mom's last name because
It can go either or. It just depends.
yeah, it's not traditional, but whatever. But Connie's Indian. Lars is confirmed to be at least half Filipino, and was actually at one point, like one of the last episodes I watched, he made something called an ube roll,
Yes.
which I guess is some purple sweet potato dessert dish.
Yeah. I haven't had it, but I've seen.
And Steven and Connie, Steven and Sadie obliterated it the first time he made it. There's also a huge rumor flying around that Lars is actually trans.
Which is an interesting theory, and I dig that.
There's actually a lot of theories floating around, like, because in the beginning of the series, Steven was very definedly chubby. And now in season 4, while he's not by any means skinny, he's definitely shrunken a lot, and that can be attributed to him, A, going through puberty because he is still half human, and B, the idea that his powers burn calories.
Yeah, I've heard of that before.
And he's gone from, at the beginning of the show, being barely able to control like his gem glowing to being able to summon his gem weapon at the drop of a hat
And use his powers.
and bubble
On
and
demand,
spike
yeah.
bubble and float.
Yeah. There's a lot of different cultural like representation in there too. You've got an African family, like a legit African family.
Oh yeah, the fish stew pizza family.
They like
I'm tempted to dress up as the dad for Halloween because my hair already kind of looks like his.
that reminds me of the beach party scene when oh, you kids in your... Remember when the grandma was saying something to the gardener? Oh, you kids in your experimental something gardener. I am much older than you. The grandma was just like, oh, okay. Garnet's one-liners are like the best one-liners in history. Sometimes, like, a lot of them are.
Honestly, Garnet, Square Mom is best mom.
But about the cultural representation, Blue Diamond has some...
Strong Indian
Yeah,
reference.
strong Indian vibes. I sent you pictures, I think, of like the outfit, what her outfit was based on. It was like a ceremonial bridal thing going on. I'm sorry, what was it?
Sorry? Sorry, S-A-R-I.
Thank you. Yeah. And you could see it in her palanquin. You could just see it in her whole court, honestly. I don't know too much. I don't know about Yellow. Yellow just looks like a bad bitch dictator.
I mean...
It's a helmet. Y'all can fight me. It is a helmet she has on her head. It doesn't make any sense for that to be her hair. It doesn't. Sorry. But...
I mean, Paradox doesn't make sense and it's her hair.
But you can tell it's hair. Like...
When has Yellow been in a situation where it would show that it's hair?
I mean, I would tell you, but that's past
Spoilers.
season 5. Yeah, it's past season 4.
Okay, fine. Spoilers.
But yeah, it's not. It's a helmet, y'all. She's a dictator. She controls the
She's
entire
military.
military.
Okay.
It's a helmet. But what are we gonna talk about? So you have questions about my favorite thing you like to tell me. You have questions about
Pink Diamond.
Pink Diamond.
You know what? I'm not even going to try to drill you about it anymore because you clearly aren't going to tell me because you're some kind of bitch. And I'll just have to watch the show and get caught up because I'm really liking it so far. No spoilers.
No, I was just.
No spoilers.
No, yeah. What I would say is spoilers. What I always say to you is spoilers.
Okay, River. See, that's something you don't know.
No, what?
That's a Doctor Who reference.
Oh, yeah, see,
River Pond shows up and she's from the future and runs into the gang. And what's gonna happen? Spoilers.
The only thing Doctor Who related I know about is the Weeping Angels. My absolute favorite. Those are some of my favorite episodes. I want one.
Those things freak me out.
The first episode they're in is really well done. Like, that deserves the award that it got.
Which is why they freak me out.
Like, really quick sidebar about filming and things. That was an amazingly well shot episode. Those angels did practically nothing, but they did everything just because of how it was shot. Spoilers for anyone who has, it's real old spoilers. Like, the ending shot, when it's like the light is flashing and they keep moving, but then they're like stuck in every fucking... That is so amazingly well done.
And I'm over here
that
just getting
whole scene.
Goosebumps because I hate the Weeping Angels.
Oh, I loved that scene so much. And the way they ended it with those 3 or 4 was smart because they got stuck together. And now they can never move, or they can never move again. That was really creative. People keep telling me I need to watch Doctor Who. I ain't got that much time to catch up with all this shit, man.
No, you just have to start with the 9th Doctor, not, the first. So you try to
start from like the 50s? Isn't it?
Early 60s. I believe the show started in 1963.
Yeah.
And it's technically the longest running sci-fi show in the history of television.
So start from the 9th. Aren't y'all on the 15th or something now?
13th.
Okay,
I believe. Let me see. 9 is Christopher Eccleston. 10 is David Tennant. 11 is Matt Smith. 12 is Peter Capaldi. And then 13 is the newest one. And I cannot think of her name, but she's the first female doctor, and there are so many tears.
Y'all are mad again.
So many tears. Why is it Dr. Female? Doctor's always been male. Yeah, but it's already been established multiple times in the universe that the Time Lords, whenever they can regenerate into whatever gender or whatever appearance that they have. Yeah. Y'all probably still be mad if their doctor regenerated as something other than white, but,
But back to Steven Universe. What's the use of feeling blue is a very important scene. The whole arc of the zoo, Pink Diamond Zoo, is very important. And there are a lot of things that you missed, and I'm very excited that you missed them.
Speaking of songs, though, my favorite is still "It's Over."
That episode won an Emmy.
That won an Emmy? Really?
Yeah, it was for like best something like that. It won an Emmy.
Really?
And it is well deserved because that's one of the best episodes of Steven Universe. And like the earlier seasons.
And it shows how Pearl has an extremely pretty singing voice.
Yeah, Dee Dee Hall. I don't remember how to say her last name. I'm sorry, girl. Is immensely talented, especially vocally. Her range is all over, and her voice is so. She plays Pearl amazingly.
Yeah, and she normally comes across as with Pearl as all being all nasal and stuff because Pointy Mom is Pointy Mom.
And then she comes at you with that "I was fine." I'm like, oh shit.
It's over, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it?
That song got me emotional. That song gets me emotional, and firsthand. What is that called? Keystone Motel. That whole episode fucks me up.
Yeah,
that episode fucks me up. I've got attachment with that
because of an ex.
Yeah, of an ex. We identified as both Ruby and Sapphire, and it fit intensely well. And that episode came out in the midst of a really big argument we had together.
Yeah, and
it actually helped us make up.
I love the dichotomy between Ruby and Sapphire because Ruby is all anger and rage and fire. And at one point during that argument, Ruby was pacing at the bottom of a pool and boiled it all out.
And evaporated it. That was insane. And then on the flip side,
Sapphire had the entire room looking like the North Pole and saying, "I'm fine."
Which are two very real ways that couples deal with emotions.
Yeah, I'm definitely Ruby in that one.
I'm a mix of both. Honestly, the only character that really kind of sums me up is Blue Diamond. Because it's that, like...
and then what about some of the sadder parts, though?
Rose's room... not the first 2 times. The third time.
Where he goes and talks to her for the first time.
He's like, "I want to see my mom."
Yeah, that hurt. That got me.
Oh.
That got me pretty good. And I'm not the one to get emotional behind TV shows or movies or whatever, unless something hits you out of nowhere. I'm looking the fuck at you, Bridget Terabithia, bitch. I'm still mad.
This is like the 3rd time.
I don't care. I'm still mad about that. Like, I'm over here already getting a little misty-eyed thinking about that scene in that movie. I am still mad about it.
That is a real, Bridge to Terabithia was one of the biggest, like, and that wasn't like a kid's movie.
That
and
was-
if most of those kids, most kids didn't read that book. I know, my father read that to me, so I knew what was happening.
Yeah.
But kids didn't read Bridge to Terabithia because it was a really old book, and it was like not a humongously circulated book as
Right,
most
and
books
then
were.
that scene comes
But
out.
that scene came out. And kids were like, no, she's just,
No.
she's okay,
No.
right? And then you get to like the post-funeral shit, you're
And
like,
then I'm like, oh my god,
babe, she's gone. I'm sorry, old spoilers.
Ancient spoilers. Why is anybody even listening to this? Anyway, back to Steven Universe and also more emotional stuff. The Rose's Room thing.
Rose's Room in general, that episode messed me up. I'm trying to think of some more that really got me. Jasper.
Oh, Jasper went from a huge antagonist to
I hated. I'm gonna be real. I hated Jasper when she first came out. Like I thought she was cool, but then her whole thing with Lapis. There we go. That's what I really want to talk about. When they when they rented the boat, or the dad bought Greg's bought the boat with that money that he won or got for the his song, and then Jasper comes back to try and fuse with Lapis again, and that whole thing was just a metaphor for toxic relationships.
Toxic and or abusive.
Heavy-handed, abusive too. And I was like, that fucked me up too.
Yeah, because okay, Rebecca, why are you doing this to my heart and soul?
Like, and it's done in such a way that kids would get what's happening.
Exactly.
Like, it's not super heavy-handed.
It's heavy-handed in an adult's eyes.
It's heavy-handed to adults, but kids get what's happening.
Right.
And it's not gonna like mentally scar them, but because it's real shit, and it's done so well. Like, and it was so believable when Jasper was like, "Wait, but you changed me. I changed now. Take me back. Trust me, it'll be different this time." That was so real. Like that fucked me up, and Lapis was considering it. That really like.
Yeah, like it was absolutely. I can't.
There's a lot.
I
Y'all go
can't-
watch it if y'all haven't started watching it
Yeah,
yet. If y'all decided to spoil shit, I'm sorry. There's a lot spoiled.
Yeah, please
for you.
don't spoil it for me because I'm really liking the show, and I've already gotten a couple of spoilers that I've been trying to grill Vesta about to no avail, unfortunately.
There,
See, you can't exactly give spoilers into a mic when I'm like 3 feet from you.
can't. I really can't.
Especially if it's something that I'm going to be listening to myself later on,
you'll get answers.
eventually.
By the end of this season, we're gonna watch it. You'll get answers.
And I'm sure I'll be upset because if Rose's Room like had me in actual tears, which doesn't happen, then I'm expecting the rest of the series to just be,
It gets a lot more narrative at this point. Is what I'll give you, and a lot of people agree. It gets more narrative post season, like around season 4, it gets real narrative.
yeah. But
I think that's good on Steven Universe. Yeah.
yeah, I think we're about good on Steven Universe, unless you've got anything else to add.
Nope, I'm good. It's time for. It's time for.
And another thing.
Yo, bitch got that pre-programmed now. That's live.
Why are you like this? All right.
All right.
So what have you got then? I'll let you go first.
See, I was working on a multitude of different things. I'm going to let you go first.
Oh, see, there's a small problem with letting me go first.
What?
With everything that's been going on with Kavanaugh and Cosby and Botham Jean and all of this going on, I am burnt. Like I am burnt out of being. I'm so tired. You know what? I can talk a little bit about something though that I read up on NPR a little bit ago. Did you hear about this?
What?
Vermont State Representative Kaya Morris has resigned from office, citing extensive racial harassment and telling the New York Times that the lack of response from local law enforcement has been stunning. One, not surprised, the police aren't for us unless they're going to be our execution squad.
Exactly.
But two, let me continue. Morris, who was the only black woman in the state legislature, announced in August she would not be running for re-election. She wrote that political discourse has become divisive, inflammatory, and at times even dangerous. Now, she's leaving office even earlier than planned. In addition to the ongoing harassment, she says that her husband is recovering after open heart surgery. So, I mean, points to her for going and taking care of what needs to be taken care of. But let's see. She's gotten teenagers banging on her doors, pranks just seeming innocent, but
They're never innocent in these situations.
yeah, there's been online threats made against her. Give me a minute so I can actually quote them properly. Oh no, it's a bunch of legalese. All right, y'all, I'm not gonna have you just sit through like 10 minutes of silence while I try to sit through the legalese to find the threats.
Right.
But I just know from having a black mother that when black women stop because they're tired, they've been tired.
Yeah.
It's not that they're stopping that they're tired. They're stopping because they're tired of being tired.
I'm sick and tired.
Of being sick and tired.
Yeah.
So when are y'all gonna be tired of being ain't shit?
Like, can we, like, what for, man? Why?
Cause
Y'all mad again over some shit actually, let me take that back. It is shit that'll impact you.
because we're flourishing.
Yeah, because we're flourishing. And I could be everything you told me not to be. When you try to come for me, I keep on flourishing. Thank you, Ariana, for the inspirational words.
Yeah.
But, like, when are we gonna? Can we just leave each other alone?
The other thing that I kind of want to speak on, and this is coming back to the Kavanaugh thing.
Okay.
And somebody tweeted this, somebody without a blue check mark, so they're not all that important, but no shade, because I don't have a blue check mark either. So help me understand this Supreme Court thing. It was okay to keep Scalia's seat open for over 400 days because fuck you, that's why. And right now it's imperative that we rush into a vote on Blackout Brett as soon as possible because fuck you, that's why. Do I have that right?
Yeah, it's real suspicious.
I mean, that was tweeted a little over a week ago.
But
I do like the fact that, and by like I mean that with every ounce of sarcasm that I can muster.
Right.
I do like the fact that somehow it's so important that we get this this rapist of dubious guilt into the Supreme Court, where you can wreak havoc on how laws how laws are formed and enforced and changed.
Yeah.
We need to rush to get him in, but we've got politicians like that old turtleneck ass Mitch McConnell.
Yeah.
Going, oh, we will obstruct this president at every juncture, at every opportunity, blah 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 blah. When he was trying to elect somebody who I don't know all that much about who Obama was trying to put into that seat. I just don't know too much. But what I do know is that he didn't have any, serial rapist, misogynist bullshit floating around him.
Yeah.
But somehow this guy who, by the way, and I don't remember right now if we mentioned this in the beginning of the section, but the fact of the matter, oh yeah, you know what? We did. Mm-hmm. The whole, if you've got nothing to hide, then this won't be a problem.
Yeah, we mentioned that.
So, if he's got nothing to hide and it's not going to be a problem, then why is he railing against it and throwing a tantrum and stuff?
Again, with these tantrums that y'all
to
ostracize.
Is it just me, or is a tantrum thrower electing a bunch of tantrum throwers or know-nothings into positions of power? I mean, we've got Brett Kavanaugh that is, at this rate, I mean, I have zero faith in, politicians at this point. At this rate, he's going to be confirmed. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure all these right-wing idiots are going to, piss their pants in glee because an alleged rapist is now in the Supreme Court, and I've got so many people on my Facebook, like, it's been almost affecting my mental health at this point. So many people, why I didn't report, what happened, this, that, and the third.
When you get down, that's the other thing that's actually what I'm probably going to rant about, was that some very interesting.
This whole thing's been triggering so many people. And trigger. No, there's a difference between being annoyed at something and being actually triggered.
Yeah, let's not let's not joke about the triggered thing anymore.
Yeah, because I have actual PTSD triggers.
Mm-hmm. And they ain't nothing to fuck with.
No, and it's not something that I get. It's not me just being upset about something. No, it's me having legitimate flashbacks and not being able to function for a while. So thanks, but die.
Yeah. But on to this. Why is it so hard for? I'm going to go on the Me Too thing.
Hang on. While you're getting your thoughts together, can I just put this out there?
Yeah.
Why do we still have a planet? Why have women not just started burning this bitch to the ground? How bad they're being treated?
Yeah. Honestly.
Like, between women and black folks, why is this country and half this damn planet not just in flames 85% of the time with how much shit we get thrown at us left, right, center?
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead and make your...
I've had someone come up to me and they're just like, well, I agree with some of the Me Too stories, but I feel like a lot of people are using it to their advantage to, like, bring somebody down. And my response is, do you really think someone's gonna give away their safety and their sanity by being ostracized by everyone to come out and accuse somebody? It's not unlikely that some people would come out in the gist of it, because some people will do anything for some money.
Yeah.
I'm not going to like disregard that, but
But
a majority of the time, a lot of these women are not going to come out facing ostracism and hate and scrutiny
death threats. These people are putting
They're not
their
going to go
necks
through
on
that
the-
for no damn reason.
They're putting their necks on the line to try to ensure that somebody gets justice in a critical time.
Right.
It's not one of those, it's just so convenient that she's coming forward now as he's becoming a Supreme Court nominee. No,
That's actually that's about the right time to actually come out about it, to stop some dumb shit from taking place.
because more often than not, you know why a lot of people don't. This is exactly why a lot of people don't come the fuck forward with their problems, with their allegations and stuff,
then
because
they
of
get
the reaction.
shut down.
And this is the reaction to it, and it becomes a, do I risk all of this? Is this worth risking right now? And right now, Dr. Ford is risking a lot to ensure that Trash Kavanaugh doesn't occupy that seat.
Exactly.
Dr. Ford and the other two, whose names elude me right now. But it's not one of those, it's just convenient she's trying to bring him down. Well, I mean, in a way, you're not wrong. She is trying to bring him down at a good time.
Because he doesn't need to be on the Supreme Court. He doesn't. Sorry.
He doesn't, no. With that kind of a lack of temperament, with that inability to remain cool under pressure, because, girl, you're deciding some of the biggest judiciary cases in the country.
Right.
You need to be able to remain, cool under pressure. But
there's been none of that.
But I mean, he's an entitled white guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm honestly surprised that he hasn't gone into full-fledged going Super Saiyan at one point or another.
He ain't got the balls to go Super Saiyan.
You are just so
I'm
proud
not
of yourself.
apologizing.
You are so proud of yourself after that, aren't you?
Not apologizing.
Why are you
for
like
that.
this?
That was amazing.
Why are you like this?
I will accept my humanitarian award for that.
Okay, now you're just doing too much. Anyway,
Is that all?
that's all I've got. Like I said, because of everything going on, I am fried. You know what I can talk about, though?
Yes. Tell us.
So we've got rumors, and again, this obviously is not much of a pop culture podcast. We try to focus on nerd stuff and political stuff and black stuff.
Yeah.
And somebody adjacent to black community and music is just having a progressively harder time. And I kind of just want to give her a really big hug. She'll probably disappear behind my arms because she's all ponytail.
Yeah. I don't know if I really want to bring up what I've seen about.
Oh, go right ahead.
No, I don't, because I don't want to bring up something and then tomorrow have it be not true. That's my whole thing. So, it hasn't entirely been confirmed yet. However, real quick, Ariana girl, you need to just take a break from everything media. You let your album make your coin for you.
Like, I just want to give her a
And
hug.
chill, please. Like, after all this bullshit you done been through and all the shit you have to hear about shit being your fault when it's not on a daily basis, girl, take a nap. Go to a spa retreat.
Pull a Serena and just go to a different country for a couple weeks.
Take your
and
man
unplug.
with you. And just go and, God is a woman at all over the bed sheets, okay? Just take your time and chill. All right, I think that's good, yeah?
Yeah, I think I'm fried, and I don't feel like giving credence to this rumor. It's just like one of her most recent tweets was just, "Can I please have one okay day? Just one."
Like, young, stop, leave her alone.
Like I said, I'm like not even like a huge like, oh my god, it's Ariana Grande. Oh my god, like give her a hug like that. No, I
I don't
just
know.
want to like.
Honestly, at this point, I might do that.
No, like there'd be a part of the back of my head that would want to do that, but there'll be the bigger part of me that just wants to.
Yeah, just make her feel better.
Because
'Cause-
my like, I would have, especially with all that money, I would not
They were like,
be.
deuces.
I would be like, so I'm renting an island for
I'm
a
gonna say,
solid month. I'm
gonna
renting
say,
an island.
I'll just pull a Sade and be like, yeah, I'll see y'all in a couple
Or
of years.
Sade, Adele.
Yeah. I don't know. Sade's the queen of that. She'll throw out an album, steal everybody's edges, and use them to fund her vacation.
Use them to weave a hammock.
Exactly, and just relax. She'll be like, I'm gonna have a kid real quick. I'll see y'all later.
Yeah, but no, but like honestly, with her kind of money, I would just like rent an island for a month, have literally one avenue of access to the internet, so I can just have somebody just like fly me in some Hennessy. And
Why would you just bring the Hennessy with you? That girl's got enough money for a private fucking jet.
true. No, I'm saying
Bring
like
that shit with you.
no, but like fly me in something, just like fly in supplies or whatever, and check to see if anything important is going on.
Yeah.
But other than that, just work on a tan,
Just good night.
walk on the beach, do nothing for a solid month, and try to do some self care, like take care of, everything important. So bleh, so you can come back and go back
snatch
to
some more edges.
feeding that ponytail. Which, eventually it'll be all the way down to the top edge of those go-go boots.
Leave her and her 80s jet boots alone.
Why are we turning into Chris Crocker over Ariana?
Who? The porn star? Never heard of him. On that note, if you want to send in some...
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so we're going to, not spike the mics and deafen people. So allow me to use my best. I just finished being sick, so I'm going to try my best to do my radio voice.
Ooh, I'm going to put in some, smooth jazz in the background.
Okay, fine. All right, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, that seems to be the summation of our show for this week. So if you have any questions, comments, great ideas, or suggestions for things for us to talk about, please shoot us an email at askthebkcast@gmail.com. If you'd like to get a hold of me, I am available on Twitter as @TheIronMagnus. That is TheIronMagnus. If you'd like to get a hold of Vesta, you can be found at house_of_fire at Instagram. How'd that sound?
Well done. I have a drum over there. I was tempted to just go and just start ambiently playing the drum while you were talking.
Okay, you and I both know that djembe is too loud.
All right. I think that's it, y'all. We'll be back in another 2 weeks.
And we're going to try to keep it consistent
Yes.
now. Don't forget to also shoot us a like on Facebook. If we get enough activity on there, we'll branch out to Instagram and an official Twitter for the podcast.
But as of right now, we've got Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud.
Correct. Yeah, you can give us a listen on YouTube and SoundCloud. The links are going to be in each description.
Yep. As well as to all the music. So, I think
that is it. That is all.
Alrighty, we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Next episode.
Smoke weed every day.
You don't even.
Bitch. Goodbye.
Bye.